What is up, guys? Sophia here, and today I'm going to talk to you ladies, especially single moms, about how to get over your baby's father. So to be completely honest, as a single mom myself, you do not have to explain to me anything. I completely get it. I get the drama. I get the wanting to walk away, but still wanting to stay. I get the maybe wanting to have the completeness of your family. I get the confusion. I get the, the difficultness it is to walk away from somebody you have had a child with, because you have had a child with this person. I mean, that's kind of something that you don't necessarily share with everybody. And even though you may want to or not want to and know that you should, it is a difficult thing to do. But as somebody who has been there myself on many, you don't even know, I'm gonna help you out. So before we get into the video, don't forget to hit the subscribe and the notifications if you want to stay updated on all my videos. And let's get into it, shall we? All right, so the first thing that I'm gonna do is because I'm a big person of metaphors, and to kind of prove my point, I'm gonna give you the same advice that I received. So I am going to take the story of Abraham and Hagar, and even if you're not Christian, even if you don't believe in the Bible, just rock with me for a second here, because I promise you that what I'm going to say, you are going to be able to relate to it. So the first thing that I want to do is give you some historical context when it comes to Abraham and Hagar, in case you don't even know who these people are. Basically, Abraham's wife Sarah couldn't have children, and so Sarah made her servant Hagar sleep with her husband, right? That's crazy. And to have a baby, and Hagar ended up having a baby. She got pregnant, and then, as you can imagine, that there was some drama that ensued after that between the two women. And then at this point, Sarah was like, you know what, you need to send homegirl, just Hagar, and her son away. And so the first thing I want to say is this is a very relatable situation, for the simple fact that you may be a single mom who you're like, okay, now he got another girl in his life, right? And now she's trying to be all up in the mix. Now she's trying to get rid of me. She's trying to get rid of my child. He's putting her before me. And now he just wants to get rid of us, right? And so I feel like this is a very relatable situation, and where I'm going to start in the story of Hagar and Abraham sends her away. I'm going to take Genesis chapter 21:14. So Abraham got up early in the morning and took a bread and the skin of water and gave it to Hagar, putting them on her shoulder, and gave her the boy and sent her away. You stop there. When you read, Abraham literally gave her like a bottle of water and a little piece of food. So even if you're with your child's father and you're like, okay, this fool is sending us away. He don't want to help. He doesn't want to be involved. He doesn't want to pay child support. He doesn't want to do anything but go about his life and send us off and pretend like we don't even exist. And that's why I wanted to take this Bible verse, because literally this is what is happening here. And as a single mom myself, I completely get it. I didn't get a regular stream of child support, and to this day, my son is 10 and his dad is ordered to pay like $65 a month or something crazy. But I know for a fact, because I have been there, of what this situation kind of feels like. And this is kind of the torment of being a single mom, because even before Hagar got sent away, in her mind, everything was all good. She had Abraham, she had a son, her child was being provided for, they had food, they had house, they had shelter, and then just like that, everything ended, and now she was getting sent away like she was a used up piece of trash, right? So then I'm going to continue on. Verse 15, I'm going to pick up there. When the water in the skin was all gone, Hagar abandoned the boy under one of the bushes. Then she went and sat down opposed him, for she said, "Do not let me see the boy die." As she sat down opposite him, she raised her voice and wept. The angel called to Hagar from heaven and said, "Get up, help the boy, hold him by the hand, for I will make him a great nation." So what I want to say about that specific Bible verse, when your family first ends, and whatever the situation is with your child's father, you feel like this, right? You feel like, all right, I might have lived with this person. They were the primary breadwinner. Now I have to go off, do everything by myself, raise a child by myself, provide for things by myself. And the only thing I want to do is sit up here and cry, because he's off living his life. Abraham had another child by Sarah. They was not worried about Hagar. And so the first thing in our minds is, just as women sometimes, is like, you know what? I'm not going to let him be happy. We might have came to the understanding that the relationship should have ended. It was probably not all peaches and cream anyway. And even if you thought it was peaches and cream and your situation with your child's father just randomly ended unbeknownst to you, the fact of the matter is that he does not want you. And so the first tip I'm going to give you is just to accept what is. So even in the Bible verse, God was like, you know what? I understand you're in a bad situation. I understand all this stuff that's going on, but get up and move forward. Nowhere did Hagar refuse to leave. Nowhere did she go back and start wreaking havoc on Abraham and Sarah's life. Nowhere did she cause all this drama. Nowhere did she continue to try to sleep with Abraham in order to get him to be back with her or to change his mind. The only thing that she recognized was this man did not want her. He did not want her there. And even though it was a bad situation, the only thing that she could do is take her and her child and move on. And so that's what you need to do. Accept the situation for what is and stop trying to change somebody's mind or stop trying to make somebody want you that has obviously sent you away in the desert, possibly with no food, possibly with no water, possibly kicked you out, possibly dismissed you, possibly, dissed you for another woman, possibly cheated on you. Who knows? Whatever the case is, you don't want to be in that situation anyway, is that you need to accept the situation and don't want anybody who don't want you. And so the second tip that I'm going to give you is just to face the reality of the situation, because what you may think is bad may actually be a good thing. Like my situation with my child's father, it's like, yeah, you kind of force the situation or you keep getting back into the situation. But once I really separated myself from all of his crap, his other women, the way he talked to me, the way he treated me, the way his wish-washiness, all that other type of stuff, I realized that this was actually a good thing. And the reality of the situation was that she had the child because she was forced to have the child because she was the servant, like a slave of Sarah. After she had her child, she had to now go back and forth with Sarah all the time because Sarah had issues with her because she now had a child and Sarah didn't. So it's like, okay, yeah, you're coming from one place, but just go into another and a better place. Don't idolize a relationship that was jacked to begin with. What are you missing about the relationship really? More often than not, it's that you miss the fact that they're familiar. You miss the fact that you don't want them to move on without you, or that they're moving on without you, or that you have an ego thing in the sense that you just don't want to lose and you want what you want. But when you really think about it, it's probably better for you to be gone anyway, to date somebody who does want to treat you the way that you want to be treated and somebody who actually wants you. The third tip I am going to give you is don't be bitter and don't stay stuck. And to me, they're kind of one and the same, because if you continuously be bitter, then you're going to stay stuck. So like the reason why I like the story of Hagar is because at one point she literally placed her son underneath the tree, and then she just sat down and was like, okay, we don't have no water, we're starving, and let's just sit down and die, right? And it wasn't like, okay, let me try to find a town. No, she was just trying to remain stuck. Like the first thing is that because your relationship ended, you might be so stuck in depression, being upset, being angry. You want to sit up here and talk about what he did to you, how he did it, bash him to all of your friends, bash him to all of his family, call his mama up and bash him and tell her what his son did and what type of man that she raised, and continuously be hurt and traumatized by something that is already done. All the meanwhile, even though he might be agitated by what you're doing, it really is not affecting him one way or the other, because he's going to do whatever it is he wants to do. And you're just going to look like this crazy behind baby mama that just can't get over him, because the only person that's hurting is you. He don't give a daggone that you feeling some type of way about him. And I also feel like it's giving him more clout than what he actually deserves, because you're literally telling him that I'm stuck in the same place. I'm bitter. I'm having a complete and utter emotional breakdown with reality, all because of you. And he's going to feel like, well, dang, I have that much of a hold on her. And if he does, he shouldn't. You can mourn for a little bit because I know it's emotional and everything, but you should really go about yourself like, you know what? When I see you, I'm gonna be nice to you. I'm going to smile. I'm not going to call anybody and bash you to anybody. I'm just gonna be on my grown woman status and pretend like you don't even exist in my world. And so even if you don't necessarily feel like that in the beginning, you will, because that is the way that you're starting to act, and that is the way that you're starting to behave. And so a lot of people feed into their emotions thinking that anger and bitterness will show them, but it doesn't show anything but show that you're still obsessed with him. And that's not the perception that you want to give. So don't fester in negativity. Don't fester in, saying that you can't get over this, because you can. And don't live your life full of bitterness, angry, and hatred because of what he did to you, or what you feel he did to you, or the fact that he doesn't want to be with you. Because the fact of the matter is, there are a whole lot of women that have broken up with their children's father 10 years ago, and their children can be completely grown, and they are still stuck and being bitter about some crap that nobody cares about and doesn't even matter, and that happened so long ago that is not even a factor. The fourth tip is to create some space. The last thing you want is somebody that you're not over sitting up in your face all of the time. Like when we read the story of Hagar, like she literally went into the wilderness across the desert. I don't know how much space there could have been. She was probably not going to run into Abraham, she wasn't going to run into Abraham. She wasn't going to run into his wife. There was going to be no arguments. There was going to be no temptation. There was going to be no emotional breakdowns. There was going to be no back and forth about the past. There was going to be no emotional exchange whatsoever with this person, because she does not have any contact with this person. So don't keep your child away from their father. Obviously, that's crazy. But just because your child has to have a relationship with their father doesn't mean that you have to, especially if you know that you're not in the right mental mindset to do it. So when I finally got over my child's father, he was incarcerated. And so we were on year, I don't even know what it was, but it was just so much drama that I actively just stopped. I stopped writing him. I stopped going to go see him. I stopped responding back to his letters, because every interaction, every phone call, everything that we had was just so negative. And I can't tell you that how much it was a relief to just not have to do that. And the longer that it went on, the easier that it got. You can set up so that they pick the child up from your mom's house, or you drop them off at their mom's house. Or you don't have to talk to them on the phone. If your child is old enough, your child can have a cell phone. That way the father can contact them directly. Or you could just communicate through email, or communicate through text if it's easier. Whatever you need to do to prevent yourself from actively engaging in this person, at least until you are ready to do so with a sound mind and without doing something that is going to possibly embarrass yourself, then do that. And space actually makes it better, because you can be easily triggered if the person is always up in your face talking crazy, all up in your limelight. It's hard for them to trigger you and hard for you to trigger them if they have no access to you. The last tip I'm going to give you is to move on and do whatever you need to do to upgrade yourself and your own life. After Hagar was just acting crazy, crying, God was like, get up, help the boy, hold him by the hand, and I will make him into a great nation. So what God was saying was, woman, get your behind up. Remember that you are a mother. Take your child by the hand and lead him into a better place. You need to focus on being a mom. And if you're so focused on being the best mom you can be, you won't be so focused on him. Be the adult in the situation and raise them to be the best absolute child that they can be, regardless of anything else, because you do have to be strong as a mom. And that's the role that you took on when you decided to have your child. And so wouldn't it be great if you kind of look back and say, you know what? Yes, I broke up with my child's father. And instead of worrying about them, I went to college. I got a degree. I got 2 degrees. I got 3 degrees. As y'all know, I have a PhD and I legitimately have 3 degrees. I, found my dream job. I started a business. Or I'm making sure that my child is on all honor roll or making the dean's list or getting a scholarship, getting an athletic scholarship. And then as you put more energy in yourself, you'll actually start to have high self-esteem about yourself and realize that, I do deserve somebody who is fully committed to me the way I want them to be committed to me, and instead of somebody who's kind of halfway in and halfway out. So you need to become that chick and make him realize like, oh, okay, you want to pass up on a great opportunity? That's all right. Not only am I going to leave you, I'm going to leave, go bigger and badder and do better than what I was when I was with you. And I'm going to take our child with us and make him into a great nation. Now what? All right. So I really hope that all of those tips were able to assist you. I do have a book for single moms that I'm actually going to leave down in the description box. It is a bestseller in the single parenting category on Amazon. So if you want to, I really hope that you check it out. All right, so that's about it. Don't forget to subscribe, click the notification if you want to, and I will see you guys another day, another time. Bye, y'all.